Yankees are off to a good start in their homestand, taking 2 out of 3 so far. The first 2, I should say, from the Detroit Tigers. Tomorrow, Nestor Correa is going up against Tarek Skubal, who's having a very good year. But at the very least, they won the series, and by a score of 5-3. And again, I say this all the time: it doesn't matter if the Yankees win 8-2, 6-2, 2-1. They win the game. Period. You don't always timely hitting is just as important as pounding the baseball and crushing people. Right? We know that they can score 10 runs a game, but do they have to? No, they don't. Okay. Not when you have pitching like that. Van Clark Schmidt held them at bay again to 3 runs, which is good. Clay Holmes came in. Luke Weaver was fantastic. And then he transitioned into Clay Holmes with a 4-out save. I don't know why so many people wanted to trade Clay Holmes or move him off the closer spot for somebody better. Who's better right now? Who's better? He is nasty, Clay Holmes, okay? He's worked on his pitches, he's worked on his repertoire, and he's got a 0 ERA. Okay, and I think that's his 11th or 12th save too. Right now, he's perfect for the Yankees. Okay, and we didn't need to, upgrade him because he pitches to contact where he gets a lot of ground balls. He's he is an elite closer right now. He's an elite closer, and I'm happy to see. And if he's in house, shout out to everybody else here too. We got Jack Clemens is here. We got Sean, my man. What is good? Consigliere's here too. Exactly. Fire Boone. The Yankees win another series and another save for Holmes. Fire Boone for that. Yes. Yes. The remedy. That's the remedy for everything. Fire Boone. Seriously. Wink is in the building too. And James, what is good? Again, another good win by the Yankees. This always feels good. I mean, I wish I went last night. Went live last night. My wife and I attended a wedding last night. So, but that's the price you pay for love, right? So it was a great time in the wedding. But I missed a trade. What do you call Luis Arias traded to the Padres? I missed a walk off for the Yankees. But we had a wonderful time with the wedding. A congratulations time. It was an all day event. It was a long day, but we had a great time. But yeah, exactly, exactly. And if he signed Josh Hader, Holmes can't do it. Exactly. No matter how many times you heard of that, right? Holmes is not a good closer. Where's the Holmes haters? Where are they? Right? I don't know. Well, exactly. Another reason the fire Boone. Exactly. This damn 3-run home run that Anthony Rizzo hit. God, unbelievable. The veterans are starting to come around too. These 3-run home runs gotta stop. The walk off last night. Stop doing this stuff. Making it very hard for people to justify the fire and Boone arguments. Ah, man. Yeah, Aaron Judge was ejected for arguing a called strike. It didn't look like a strike, but it is what it is. They were okay. They were okay. Oh yeah, exactly. Greg. I mean, Zach Britton was he's a great ground ball pitcher. Again, like Mariano Rivera pitched to contact. He didn't have a live arm like Emmanuel Clase or Josh Hader didn't throw 102 miles an hour, but it didn't matter. He's the greatest closer of all time. He didn't need to. Well, exactly. See, I like these ideas. We got to trade for Robbie Ray and then flip him to the Mets. Now the thinking caps are on. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But it's got to revolve around firing Boone. Okay, it has to. It has to. Or the Yankees not a championship caliber because they only scored 6 runs against the Baltimore Orioles. It doesn't matter. They have 130 games left. Why are we even talking about that right now? Who cares? Nobody. With 130 games left. Nobody. What's the point of that conversation? Can't even say the Orioles are a championship caliber team right now. We don't know. They could lose a bunch of guys. It's 130 games left. A lot of stuff can happen. A lot of stuff can happen. But John Birdie's back now. He's activated off the IL. They did DFA was it Taylor Trammell, right? And he may come back into the system too. So, but Birdie's coming back, which gives the Yankees some little bit of more versatility in the infield, which is a good thing. And then once DJ comes back, they have a little more versatility too. So, advisory role exactly, NFB. Well, Jay Borden, this Birdie's going to play third base. He'll come. It's like Osvaldo Cabrera and so like that for third base. Then when DJ comes back, they'll have even more. They'll have more options. This is why it's so important to have Birdie back. It's so important to get DJ back because of the versatility that they don't have right now. So that's a good thing too, though. Just yes, excuse me. This is Aaron Judge's first career ejection. Yep, he should just clock the ump, make the injection worth it, right? Damn. He should have stunned them like a stone cold stunner or something. Yeah. Hypothetical trade. Glaber, Warren, two Warrens to Toronto for Bo Bichette. Well, we have a shortstop, so I wouldn't do that. When you say Jack, when you say Warren and Warren, which Warrens are you talking about? Are you just saying Glaber and Adam off and Will Warren? I personally I wouldn't only because we have other guys here that could fill the spot, even though Bichette's an exciting young player. But I hesitate to give up Will Warren for one of those Blue Jays players. But if we didn't have the infield depth that we do behind Gleyber Torres, and I consider, but Gleyber's bat seems to be waking up a little bit. So it's obviously not where we need it to be, but it's waking up a little bit, which it's good to see. Still a while away, but um, you know, I hesitate with Bichette. I like Bichette, but I hesitate. I really do. But would you play him at second? Is the question, Jack? Where would you play him? Ethan happens all the time. It's constant, right? Talking about Boone and Cashman all the time. That's what they feel they need to do. They need to give a voice. They call real talk or whatever it is. real we have real talk here. Doesn't have to revolve around trashing people. It doesn't bring any value. So, but yeah, and NFU makes a good point too. The Tigers are a scrappy team. They definitely are. They are. You know, developing team, growing. They made some mistakes recently with like the heavy bias, deal, but they're good enough to be control. Yeah, excuse me. Tired from last night. Good enough to be contenders in the AL Central. But I think the Royals and then the Guardians are going to be pretty competitive for a while. And I don't think Ethan, yeah, exactly. I don't think we're far from world championship team. Obviously, we need Garrett Cole back. We need some of the reinforcements to get back. And at that point, if we feel like we need a piece, they'll add a piece. Who I have no idea. We don't know what the piece is going to be. But this is why I don't waste my time with that talk. This is championship team. Like we're in May, okay? Like let's talk about that come the trade deadline when teams have a much better idea where they stand. It doesn't really make a point. I mean, I understand if you want to generate likes and views and blah blah blah, rile people up, fine. But like, doesn't bring any value to the conversation. None. No. Trade D. I like the ideas, man. Trade DJ for Javi Baez, man. Yeah, I like it. I like it, actually. And well, I'll tell you, I mean, they are playing a small ball team yesterday with the bunt from Verdugo, and then the opposite field double from Stanton to put Verdugo on third, and then at third, and then a walk off by freaking Rizzo to win the game 2-1. Like that's small ball. It's good fundamental baseball today. Rizzo with the 3-run shot, clear opposite field base hits, and so on. So and some good timely pitching again from Stroman last night, from Schmidt today, and then some good long relief by Warren, not by Weaver, and then elite closing by Clay Holmes. Man, unbelievable, unbelievable. We don't need Gio Urshela. I mean, it was great when he lasted, but that's 5-6 years ago. I think we have players that we have. I mean, I think Birdie is better than Gio. So we have what we have. Like, and I wouldn't make a move just for the sake of making a move, just because I don't like somebody, you know, or because other people saying they don't like somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah, day off on Monday. Exactly. Finally, a well-deserved day off. But then you got Detroit for one more, and then who's coming in after that? Is it Tampa? Let's see. Is it Tampa? No, the Astros. The Astros are in town. Houston Astros are in New York against the Yankees starting Tuesday. So, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, they got to tighten some things up, Ethan. Yeah, definitely. Hey, Daniel Berry, what's good? Brian's in the house too. What is good, everybody? Smack that like button, gang. Let's celebrate this win by hitting that like button, please. Definitely appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, we need to tighten some things up. We need Aaron Judge's back to wake up a little more. We need Gleyber Torres is about to start waking up a little more. We need some more productivity from Anthony Volpe and some other folks. So, um, and then we need Birdie to be productive when he comes in. We need DJ to be productive when he comes in. So we have a lot of reinforcements that are already in house. So hopefully the guys that will, come back will provide some value. But yeah, the Astros are coming in. Then they travel to Tampa. Okay, all right. I know you don't like Stanton or Torres. I get it. Not everybody do. Ethan, man, congratulations to you. Got engaged. All right. All the best to Ethan on his future nuptials, man. It's fantastic, man. It's a great feeling when the when you either ask and your partner says yes, or your partner asks and you said yes. So congratulations to you, my man. Really. Well, I know this whole thing, like people want to complain about Boone about how holding players accountable. I said this to you like in our chat, like slumping players is a slumping player. Lazy play is a different thing. But again, like what do you expect Boone to do? Publicly trash his players like people do on YouTube, like behind the screen? No, he's not going to do that. He's going to put him in baseball timeout. You know what I mean? Benching him is one thing, but right now they haven't had the players to replace them. If you bench the player, a lot of the infielders that we had, Birdie, DJ, Peraza, they were all on the IL. So what are you going to do? We're waiting for some productivity here. Now you might sit. Now they might be in a better position to sit a Glaber or to sit an Oswald, something like that, and have Birdie here. It gives the Yankees more flexibility now. Again, there's no more accountability, in my opinion, than Torres losing tens of millions of dollars on a contract that he could have gotten. He's costing himself tens of millions of dollars. And there's no more accountability that can be bestowed upon him that's more significant than that. He's cost himself a boatload of money. And that's on him, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll pick that back up. Hopefully he'll resurrect himself here. But that's where he stands right now. And it doesn't matter what a manager says. The manager's not paying him the contract. So it really doesn't matter. No. Jerry's been in the house. What's good, Jerry? Today, yeah, I could have walked Rizzo, but I mean Rizzo's pitching good right now. I mean, playing Rizzo's hitting good right now, Peter. Yeah, but in other situations, yeah, I mean, you know, they could have walked Rizzo to pitch to Glaber, knowing that Glaber wouldn't be, producing as much. So, but I'm glad to see Glaber kind of getting some hits now. He went deep against in that final game against Baltimore, so it's bad still waking up, but it's not where we need it to be right now. Uh, well, exactly, man. It's just what is the point of trashing players and trashing people? Like what? You know, I say this in YouTube. It caters to the low IQ group, low IQ audience. So you know, this is not an easy game, not the major league level. mm But these guys get paid a lot of money too. They're adults and don't need to be babysat. You know, yeah. Well, he's a streaky fielder too, Ethan. If you talk about Torres, there are times he's really good in the defense, but there's times that he's really bad in the defense, and he has these mental lapses. And again, he's doing it to himself. He's costing himself money. So, you know what I mean? Birdie can also be used. Yes, he can, Jack. That's a good point. Birdie can be used as a pinch runner as well. Herman is yes, kind of kept him from a good contract. Yeah, there are a lot of players who have cost themselves money by their behaviors. Yeah. But yeah, Steven, Rizzo looks like he's turning a new leaf, and I mean, towards his bats slowly waking up. Hopefully, it continues to slowly wake up until we're at the point where he's hitting consistently and consistently well. That's a fantastic thing. So, you know, it depends. I mean, Volpe's got a Gold Glove at shortstop, so if you're going to trade for a shortstop, he's got to be better than Volpe with the glove. And that, if you do that, that's all but saying they are completely done with the Oswald Peraza project. They're done with George Lombard. They're done with Roderick Arias, which is another reason why I can't see them trading for Bo Bichette for that reason alone. Is he better than all those guys? I don't know. I don't know. No. Yeah, Brian's true. I mean, they're coming together. Like they play well together. And the people, the big mouths are always going to be big mouths no matter what. They will find a way to be big mouths for whatever reason, and whether it's an ego stroke for them, or whether they need to hear each other. I don't know what it is, but like that's always going to be that way. That comes with the territory as the Yankees too. But the Yankees do a pretty good job at brushing off a lot of the noise. But yeah, Peter. I mean, Caleb Ferguson has gotten a hell of a lot better in the last couple of weeks after a rough start. A lot of these guys, like are really really performing well. But yeah, I mean, NFE, there's certain players like I think again, Gleyber Torres, Anthony Volpe. We need to see a little bit more from him, but he's still playing relatively well. Um, he's had a couple of defensive lapses recently, and Giancarlo Stanton a little bit more consistency, even though he got a big hit last night. So I just need him to stay healthy. Yes, it does, Jerry. It definitely humbles you. This is why the big mouths are on here who don't play. The big mouths say, "Oh, they should be doing this." You don't play, all right? You've never played at this level, so stop running your mouth. And this is why we don't do it on here. Trash them and all that stuff, because speaking from experience, it's not as easy as people think. You know. All right, Jay Boardman. I don't think right now. I think he knows that the Yankees are not planning on re-signing him, which is probably why he's in his own head a little bit too, which is why he's struggling and reeling. The Yankees have enough infield depth to not have to give him a big deal. So he knows that. But again, if I'm playing for a contract, a big contract, no matter where it is, I'm buckling down right now, and I'm going to do my best. So hopefully, Gleyber Torres will get to the point where he can do that. Personally, and I feel like I think it depends on who you lead off. If you have Verdugo at lead off against righties, then you can have Judge at 2, Soto at 3, or vice versa. If you lead off DJ, I think there's an argument also to put Volpe at the number 2 spot too, depending on who's leading off. But I would have Volpe, in my opinion, at 5 or 6. I wouldn't move him down to the 7 spot right now. I would have Torres at 7. And that's what I would do. But again, if they want to move him down to 7, I get it. But I would probably have him at 5 or 6, and then Torres at 6 or 7 right now. And if production changes, then then it changes. But that's why I think he'll be most productive right now. Volpe with at that spot, when knowing that guys like Soto and Brizzo and even Stanton and Judge for the most part they're either coming back, they're coming around, or they're producing. With Judge, obviously, we need more production from him, but I think it's in a better run producing spot or run manufacturing spot at 5 or 6 than is at 6 or 7. But again, it really depends. Like if Verdugo's not leading off, then I'm putting him at like 6. So I have Volpe and him, and then Verdugo at 6, and then Volpe, and then Torres at 7. So that if Torres does start driving in runs, He's got Volpe and Verdugo who have a better shot at getting on base in front of him to manufacture more runs. And if he doesn't, then whoever's behind him, whether it's a catcher or someone else, Oswaldo Cabrera, there's still a spot there to drive in some runs. So um, that's kind of my initial take on it, NFE. I mean, well, give me your logic, brother. What's up, Dev? Yeah, James, exactly. Yeah, well, I do. We talked about. I talked to Jobber Chamberlain directly about this, about Pete Rose not being in the Hall of Fame. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. No, me how Jeter managed to avoid. Yeah, no, I get you, Wink. I get you, man. Yeah, Jeter was very mild mannered. I could definitely not see him getting ejected. Yeah, yeah. I mean, to NFT's point, like this is where if I was going to lead off for Dugo, I'd have Volpe around in the 5 spot or 6 spot. Yeah, that's where I would have him at. Um, but having these guys coming back, Birdie and DJ when he comes back, gives the Yankees lineup more versatility. Makes it easier for them to move guys around where they have the pieces here already instead of last year where they had to come up with these inconsistent lineups because of lack of options. It wasn't bad lineup construction by Boone, despite so many people loving to say that. He didn't have any options. Our backups weren't good. Our bench wasn't good, and even our starters were injured for the most part. We had significant losses by Judge and Stanton, Rodon, Nestor Cortez. We missed so many games by so many players last year, and look who they had backing them up. They were playing out of position. They weren't good, so like it was unfortunate. I like those guys, but it's a completely different story this year. There's so much more depth. So, well, that's right. I agree too, Brian. I think Labor would be wise to wise up and start having some fun, realizing, look, I mean, playing Major League Baseball, and I'm here to play for a contract, whether it's for the Yankees or someone else. I have to go out there and start being myself again, make myself valuable to whatever team that wants me. So, but I mean, it's easier said than done, but I think it would be a good idea for him to just lock down and, buckle down and get out of his own head. You know, Jack, I wouldn't trade Judge, not now. And what Hall? I mean, the Hall. I don't know at this point. I have no idea what kind of haul they get for him. Knowing that he's on a big contract, like just like if the Angels traded Mike Trout, they're not going to get a haul that they people think they're going to get trading Mike Trout. People think they're going to get half that. They're not going to get half the farm. They would get half. They would get half the farm or farm for Ronald Acuna or something like that. Not Mike Trout. I'm kind of the same boat when it comes to Judge. So I don't. I wouldn't trade Judge Jack in my personal opinion. What Ethan? Yeah. Again, I mean, another long reliever. My guess is when JT Brubaker comes finally here in June, that they'll have their long reliever. He was a they traded for him from the Pirates. And he was a starter. He's going to be converted spot starter, long reliever. So we'd have that guy to go along with Luke Weaver, and then once Garrett Cole comes back, if they happen to move Nestor Cortez to long relief, we'd have 3 long relievers. That to me is a good position to be in, Ethan. But let me know what you think about that. Yeah, I think we'll be okay for pitching and a hitting hole. Yeah, damn right, Jerry. Absolutely. We have enough personnel here. Yeah, I could see them too. Yeah, I can see that too, Anthony. Taz, thank you for joining the family, brother. Welcome, 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 welcome. Much love to you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, welcome, brother. Your family, regardless. Yeah, the slim, more consistent Stanton. Yeah, he still has some bad swings and misses, but he's clearly locked in a little bit more than he has been, Sean. And he's healthy right now, which is that to me is very significant, very significant. So, but if Judge and Stanton, yeah, man, if they go Hulk mode, and then you got Soto in there too, like You could have, and if Rizzo goes out, like we can have 4 Hulks. We really, really could. Maybe even more than that. And I hope that happens. Yeah. Well, exactly, Steven. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Yeah. 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 People levy out, people love to levy out the heavy criticisms on the Yankees when none of these people do it themselves. Like it's that easy. I would do the same. I would bat DJ on the bottom, and I would ease DJ in. Like if Oswaldo's not hitting, then it makes it easier to get DJ in here. If Oswaldo is playing and hitting, I would be rotating DJ around as a utility guy. I'm not going to just sit somebody because DJ's back. Just like I'm not going to just sit somebody because Jason Dominguez is back. I say this so many times, and I know not everybody likes to hear that, but it's true. It's true. Ethan, that's solid, man. I batted about 330 something, 333 or 332 in high school. 460. That's impressive. Tommy John. Nice, Ethan. Played at a high level. It's good to hear, man. So you have an idea of how hard this thing can be, and how hard something like Tommy John can make it for people, or a groin injury, or these minor injuries. Like you're going from nothing to fast twitch running in like that. If you're first base, you have to go. There's no gradual transition at the sprinting. You're just going from standing to sprinting, and this is these are in areas where a muscle can be pulled, the back can be strained, and so on and so forth, and it makes it really difficult, which is why the aerobic conditioning is so important. This is why it's important to keep the body warm the whole time and loose the whole time. It's so important. So, but you're absolutely right. That's great points right there. Love it, man. I get you, man. I mean, I could see that too, NFA. I get you, man. And I think he would be most productive there, especially with Birdie now. Birdie is a bigger base stealing threat than Volpe. And if Birdie can get on base relatively consistently from the leadoff spot, then we have the guys behind him who can drive him in. If DJ can get on base from the leadoff spot, we have guys that can drive him in. Like Verdugo, same. So again, if Verdugo can produce some leadoff spot, it makes it easier to rotate Volpe towards the middle of the lineup. So it makes it easy to do that. You know. Yeah, Wink. I mean, I always say like I don't really whatever they decide to do at 2-3 is fine. I'm more interested to see what they do at 1-4 between the two guys because those two guys are going to stay at 2-3 or 3-2, whatever. Whoever goes 1-4 in front of them and behind them to me is what's going to be, the other significant part. So, yeah, Luke Weaver's been a quietly efficient find by Brian Cashman, the guy that people love to hate, right? So many people were trashing that signing. Dumpster diving. You should be getting Blake Snell. Well, guess what? They made Snell an offer. He turned it down. Now he's on the IL with the Giants. Yep. Well, it's not necessarily plummeting, Jerry, but his BA and his batting. I mean, it's hard to stay at like 400, but he's in. Let's see what Anthony Volpe's batting average is right now. Volpe. Let's pull up his batting average, Volpe. He's batting. He's batting 258, which is higher than he batted last year. He batted 220s last year, so he's batting higher than last year. But anything definitely seems like a plummet from like almost 400. So there's no doubt about that. Look at Austin Wells' batting average. He's batting like 430. So it's crazy. When you don't have a ton of at bats, it's easy for the batting average to fluctuate like that. DJ Soto, Judge Verdugo, Stanton, Rizzo, Wells, Trevino, Cabrera. I think it'd be something like that. So the only people I would switch would be Cabrera and Trevino. I'd have the catcher batting ninth. But if Austin Wells is there, I could have Austin Wells batting eighth with Cabrera ninth. I'd have Cabrera batting eighth if Trevino was on the at the dish. So, but either way would be, I think, okay. You know, an impact bat. Well, I know a lot of people wanted Luis Arias, but he was traded to the Padres last night. Yeah, crazy, right? Yeah, for four prospects. I mean, yeah, definitely Judge is a super class guy. I don't know what compelled the umpire to reject him. We have no idea. But generally, arguing balls and strikes now is almost automatic grounds for an ejection. So he could have been dignified about it, but the fact that he was arguing balls and strikes is technically the ejectable, justifiable action according to the new umpire's handbook or the new CBA. So yeah. Well, what's crazy too, Brian, is that you like when Judge batted number two, um, he had 62 home runs. So, but like he also never had a guy like Soto behind him. So I think they need to figure out at some point what's the better spot because I mean Soto doesn't seem to be phased at all. Whether he bats two or three, he said so much he didn't care. So I hope that they can just find the right medium between him and Soto. I really, really do. So yeah, and Ethan. I mean, Verdugo is another one. I think he's whether he bats leadoff or bats six, he's not phased by it at all. I don't think he cares. Which that to me is a good. It's a good skill set to have. It really, really is. So, sure, that's a good question. I got to go back and look at that too. Where's your shortstop? Sean, where's your shortstop, baby? If Cabrera, murderers row, if Cabrera's not hitting, then DJ's likely going to start over him. But that could change quickly. That could change quickly. And maybe he'll bat against lefties. I mean, I don't know how they're going to deploy DJ yet. We don't know. It still remains to be seen, murderers row. But I get what you're saying. Volpe at short, DJ at second, Cabrera at third. I mean, yeah, that could be an alignment too, defensively in the infield. But yeah, the same thing. And I love Mike Trout too. He's a player that I always like to watch when he's on the screen playing. So, but yeah, he has a hard time staying healthy now, and these injuries suck. Some of these injuries really take him out for a while. Like torn meniscus. Like, damn, he's gonna miss 2 to 3 months. You know, we'll see how DJ comes back. We'll see how they deploy him. I'm curious to see if they give him if they ease him in as a utility guy and he doesn't have to play every day, then it's going to make it, I think, a little bit easier for him. They have to figure out how they want to utilize him. Right? Yeah, Ethan. JT Brubaker. Yeah, and they just moved what's his name? Kiner Delgado was the player to be named later. I announced it the other day. The news came out. But JT Brubaker is a converted starter from the Pirates, so he'll be here. I think June, July. So we'd have another arm coming into the stable too, which is going to help. And I haven't even mentioned guys like Clayton Beater, some of these other guys. Who I expect to see him later. I expect to see Will Warren later. And there's other people we haven't seen yet. I mean, we saw Beater early on, but I expect to see Beater soon too. But yeah, one plug. Trout makes a surprise announcement. Like what? What kind of announcement are you talking about? One plug for Mike Trout. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, man? Yeah, JT's got good stuff, Ethan. He does. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not underestimating DJ. DJ was pretty strong during the spring. He can definitely you know. Yeah, Taz. Always. You know that, man. Welcome. Always welcome to the family, brother. Appreciate you. Always appreciate you, brother. Judge coming. I hope so, man. Tomorrow is going to be Tarek Skubal, the Tigers versus Nestor Cortez for the Yankees. Skubal is having a good year. He's a guy we talk. He's a nasty lefty. He's a guy that we talked about as a potential trade target for the Yankees. He's young, and he's a good pitcher. And I don't know if he'll ever be available, but if he is, the Yankees should look into him. But that's the lineup tomorrow. That's the pitching matchup tomorrow. So yeah, yes, we are, Jake. Boy, we got 21 wins now, man. 21 and 13. Yep, yep. Hell no, exactly. And if the injuries in sports are no joke, man. Whether it's Liz Frank or and Chen Ming Wang was a 19-game winner, 2 years in a row for the Yankees, and then he injured his Liz Frank, which is on the top of his foot, and then he was never the same after that. Some of these injuries are especially when you're doing these lateral, when you these stop movements and so on and so forth, you really jam your foot and ankle and so on. So this is why you see a lot of torn ACLs in football from lateral movements and runs and this and that and blah blah blah. So torn Achilles and all, for stuff that don't look like freak injuries, but they're serious injuries. Remember, some of these guys are big guys too. So when this weight, the size of some of these guys on the Achilles, on the ankle, on this, on the knee, it's a lot different. A lot different. No. My top three teams now power rankings, Rob. I'm gonna say probably if I can give you four, it's gonna be the Braves in no particular order. The Braves, I'd say the Dodgers, the Orioles, and the Yankees are my four. Those are my four right now, Rob. If I had to give an order, it would probably be the Braves, then probably the Braves, the Dodgers, the Orioles, Yankees. Probably in the order too. What about you, Rob? Well, exactly, one plug. This is different, man. It really is different. Oh, yeah. Coach, I'm an electrician. I believe it. I hear you, Ethan. I hear you, man. You're you're a religious conspiracy theorist. whatever, whatever, Ethan. As long as you're healthy, man. As long as we're healthy. But Trout's career is definitely taking a toll on him. Yeah, it's unfortunate to see an elite talent like that, historic generational talent, just start to fall apart like that. It really is a shame. I mean, he's as good as it gets, Mike Trout, in terms of baseball players. Good as it gets. Um, yeah, Luke Weaver was nasty today. Clay Holmes was nasty today. I mean, I was very impressed with Clark Schmidt too. I was very impressed. Yeah, yeah, Jack. Exactly. This dumpster diving. They found Clay Holmes. They found Ian Hamilton. They found a lot of these folks with the dumpster diving. Yeah. Hang on one second, gang. I have to let the cat out. Yeah, buddy. But there's a lot of, there's so many people that are the Yankees have to get Josh Hader. They have to get Emmanuel Clase, blah blah blah. While they're all appealing names and so on, and they have put forth some crazy stats at times, I'm okay with Holmes. I really am. I really am. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Want to play? He knows, Judge. I mean, he knows not to turn this into a ridiculous argument. Let Boone do that if he wants to. There he is. Buckeyes in the house. My man, the king of Texas is here. That's right. Well, I agree too. Yeah, and he's becoming even less of an option Oswald Price once George Lombard is up here a little higher. Once Roderick Arias continues to develop too, which is a shame. It's a shame. He's just going to go back and back and back in that line. So yeah, Mike King is doing okay with the Padres, Jerry. I mean, we got the price of that trade 1-0. There's no doubt about it. So Twins are up on the Red Sox. Good. Yeah, and there's a lot of things you could do. Like you could have Opie or DJ batting, and you could do that too, and have Verdugo at like the Yankees lineup is deep enough now. The roster's deep enough, I should say, to put. And I said this too. You can put a contact hitter, a power hitter, and a speed player, something like that, on each segment of three in the lineup. You can have it any way you want. So yeah, last year, look at this. Yankees were 17 and 16 last year. And now we're 22 and 13. So the Yankees are in a better spot. They are in a better spot. So that's another way of looking at it too. You think, yeah, it's only like your worst hitter and blah blah blah. I don't know where these theories come up with. Like, has to be the worst hitter, but yeah, it could be another leadoff. It could be a table setter in the back of the lineup to set the leadoff up guy. Like, so many different ways you can think about it, right? Nobody got hurt right now, Joe. Not that we know of. Not that we know of. Well, not that we heard, I should say. Um, yeah, Boone got ejected. Uh, Boone got ejected last week by an umpire who Boone wasn't even talking. The umpire ejected him. It was a fan that was heckling the ump, and he threw out freaking Boone. So it was just crazy, crazy. But well, I mean, where would Luis Arias play? Is the question, Jerry? Right? Where would he have played here? That's the other question. So yeah, the Yankees can go 10 over tomorrow. Yep. I mean, they have a tough task tomorrow, but I'm up. I think they're up for it. I do. They're playing with a little bit renewed confidence. And yesterday was a feel good walk off win, which they needed, in my opinion, by two veteran players. Stanton set it up. Rizzo won it. So and Verdugo, in no small part, played a key role in that as well. So it's just nice to see. Uh, Nice to see the Yankees doing that. And again, it gives some momentum heading into this type of stuff. Torn meniscus. One plug. Mike Trout is a torn meniscus. He's going to miss 2 to 3 months. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they're okay with it, I would try it. But if it wasn't working, I would not keep it that way. I would move. I would go back to the way it was pretty quickly with those two. I think it's pretty important that the order between those two be the right, be in the right spot. Well, yeah, Brian, I don't think the Phillies are going to trade Bryce Harper. It would be nice, but I can't see the Phillies trading him. Yeah, but I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I think they're keeping. They've already give Spencer Jones a first base glove, and he's taking reps at first base. I don't know how many games they're gonna get him in there, but I think they have him in mind for first base. Um, next year they're gonna need probably a third baseman. Well, it depends on how well some of these guys play. Buckeye, Buckeye, Buckeye. Buckeye and his doppelganger are here, baby. What's good? Yeah, the Yankees have hit into more double plays than I think any team in baseball right now, which is it's not a fun stat. It's not a fun stat. That's for sure. Um, Volume here. My phone. I got to make sure. My youngest daughter, I can hear her napping. Um, yeah, I mean, if you put Verdugo first, then you could bet Judge second, Soto third. Then we go lefty, right, and then with Soto third, then you can have, um, depending on who you want, Stanton fourth, Rizzo fifth, and you're still going right, left, right, left, right. Like you can do that if you want. So yeah, it's crazy too. Why are fans? What do fans know about kind of Delgado? What do they know about him? And where was he going to play here? Yeah, he was definitely a likely piece to get traded, 100%. MFA. Like, what do fans know about him aside from what a couple of folks say on social media and YouTube? What do they know about him? You know, and well, you know what we'll do? We'll pull him up here just for shits and giggles. Excuse my French. Okay, Kinder Delgado. Here we go. All right, let's pull up the stats here. He's batting 400, but in 5 at bats. So not much of a sample size. His career 203, 302 hitter. 12 home runs, 63 ribbies, 72 stolen bases with an OPS of 960. So he's pretty solid, but he's also playing rookie league ball. He's still multiple levels away. Okay? He's a lefty hitter. He's an infielder, second baseman. But we have Yorbit Vivas, we have Cerno, we have like so many other guys. Caleb Durbin, like so many other guys ahead of him that he wouldn't have any path anytime in the near future to get into the big team. So I get it. And the JT Brubaker represented a more need now fit than Kiner Delgado. So I get it. Helping doubt and having that depth definitely makes it easier to move on from guys like this. Yeah, I can't see Trout retiring anytime soon. One plug because he comes back from injury and he's productive again. So that's the thing too. And he's on a huge contract. I can't see him just walking away from that one plug. I mean, I'd be surprised. I'll put it that way. I'd be surprised if he did that. But he is a class guy. I mean, but I think he wants to do whatever he can to help his team. But you never know, one plug. You never know what these players are going to say. So, and Efros reminds me of kind of like a little bit of Jeff Nelson, a little bit of Adam Ottavino. I guess he has a lot of movement on his pitches, a lot of movement from the right side. So I'm looking forward to having him back as well as Lou Trevino, as well as Tommy Kahnle. I think it's going to be more reinforcements to the bullpen. It's going to give them a shot in the arm. Definitely a shot in the arm. Oh, yeah, you're damn right, Bill. You're damn right, Cleanza. I have to step away from lugging heavy ass into the into the house. Heavy ass TV. I hear that, Cleanza. Yeah. I like this why I like these flat screens. They're so much lighter than the big ass TVs. The big TVs, we had that, and then the back like this, and oh god. Those are like 500 pounds. These are like 40, 50 pounds on these flat screens. Even at 80 inches are just light, which is so much nicer when you have these other ones that are like 300 pounds. It's a nightmare. You need 8 people to carry it down the stairs or up the stairs. You know. Yeah, Scooples, he's pitching against us tomorrow, 4-0 to 172 against Nestor Cortez. That's right. Marlins hit to 159 double plays last year. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. But yeah, we needed this ball game. It was a good, clean win. We needed last night's walk off Texas, right? I mean, the Yankees needed that after a tough series against the Baltimore Orioles. So again, 130 games left. This series with Baltimore didn't expose as many things as people thought it exposed. But 130 games left of the season, a lot of stuff can still happen. That's why to me it's too early to be, talking about that stuff. But certain people don't want to hear that. No. Uh yeah. Prospects don't always pan out. I mean, you have something nudged up in the infield. Again, we have a lot of it in depth in the infield that's close to. That's the other problem. Some of the depth we have is in AAA that are, a step away from the majors, like Yorbit Vivas and some of these other folks. It's not like we have rookie ball and those types of folks, which makes it easy to trade guys like Delgado. And he probably has a clearer path to the Pirates than he does in the Yankees. So, but yeah, it's a small amount of prospects make it to the show. Really small amount of prospects. They really do. Hmm. Oh, God. I haven't heard Steven. A. Smith's idiotic take on Trout. What did he say, Clemenza? Oh God, we have not discussed that, Billy. I don't. What was his take on Trout? Yeah, 315. Yeah, he hurt his list, Frank, which is on the top of the foot, and he like jammed his foot, and he was never the same. That was after he won 19 games 2 years in a row. Chen Ming Wang. That was a tough injury. It really was a tough injury. No, thank you so much, my man, Texas Buckeye, the king of Texas. I appreciate you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Scooble's got, he's got 2 more years after this year. Well, he's got 25 and 26, yeah. So, he's a guy, I mean, he's a guy to consider trading for too, if he ever became available. So, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah, right now you're right. It does look like the Yankees dodged a bullet, and a lot of people are on board with Josh Hader. But the price was crazy. 19 million a year turned into 40 million a year with the Yankees because they're over the Cohen threshold. And that I didn't see, like, if they were under the threshold, even with the asking price high, um, that has a different leaves a different taste in your mouth than 40 million does. That's for sure. And like what type of production? Because if he stunk when he came here, fans would be complaining about that too. We know this. And they would figure out a way to blame Boone, figure out way to blame Cashman. So it did. It comes with the territory. Comes with the territory. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people want a hater. Clemens, I totally get it. And hater. He had a great year last year. So um, I'm surprised he didn't have more offers. Yeah, Gary Cashman. He is good at building good bullpens. So he is. He definitely is. Wait, exactly. Exactly. Yes, indeed. And I'm happy with Clay Holmes right now. Clay Holmes is also a free agent at the end of this year too. So I'm curious to see. And if he keeps performing like this, he's going to get expensive. He's going to get expensive. Hmm. Yep. He's not having a good year right now, Hater. That's for sure. But neither is Houston. Houston's kind of having a rough season. I do expect them to get better at some point, but how much better? I don't know. I don't know. Well, the rules are different now, Rose. Like the arguing balls and strikes now is, I think it's based on a new CBA. With the umpire side. It's now if you argue balls and strikes, it's like an automatic ejection. But whereas before they had some leniency, now it's like part of the new rules of the game, which is kind of ridiculous because it's a bad call, then it should be called out. You can't just sit there and take it if it's a terrible call. It's not fair. Not fair to the hitter. So I get it. But he also, I mean, he didn't go out like a dick. He went out, didn't argue with the ump. They just threw him out, which is kind of stupid. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Same here, Ethan, man. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you for coming. And I'll wrap this up in a minute too. Everyone will let you all go. It's Saturday. Go enjoy your rest of your weekend. But yeah, it stinks to hear about Trout too. He's a great player. I love watching him. It's unfortunate having experienced this many injuries. So who's that, Jerry? Who plays second and first? Who are you referring to? They can play second and a little bit of first. Yeah, there was no room for Conor Delgado. Yeah, if you haven't smashed that like button, please. If you haven't subbed to the channel, please do that as well. It's always greatly appreciated. Yeah. Who's not doing well at first base? Consigliani. I mean, it's going to be an adjustment period. Josh Hader 1-3 with a 5.93 ERA. Yeah, I mean, I'll stick with Clay Holmes. I'll stick with Clay Holmes. So Dennis Santana's been solid. Ian Hamilton's been solid. Victor Gonzalez, Caleb Ferguson have been solid in the bullpen. So we've got a lot of solid guys here in the bullpen. Yeah. Trey Turner's out, also hurt now. Oh my goodness, so many injuries. Oh my heavens, Betsy. Yeah, well, exactly, James. I mean, Trout is a career 5 to 6, 500, 600 home run guy with a 300 average. Like injuries are just taking too much out of his, um, taking it, Jack, I hope you don't listen to that channel. I think it's called New York Yankees News. They put out these ridiculous videos that are not true. They put out a video as yesterday. Agreed, breaking news: Yankees agreed to a deal with Paul Blackburn. Welcome to the Yankees. Now they're talking about like look at the title of their video. So they're saying that the Clevenger is being traded to the Yankees, and then the title's like they're being interest. They completely contradict themselves all the time, Jack. So if that's the channel you're referring to, I would not pay attention to what these folks saying. They very, very rarely are they accurate. So and I haven't heard anything in terms of Clevenger to the Yankees. But I'm just warning you on that channel. You could obviously watch it if you want, but that channel is highly inaccurate. Highly inaccurate. No. Mariano's son apparently did play in the Yankee system. I think he went to Iona College too. Yeah. Oh, I think Mike Trout could be Tyler Talbot's in the house. What's good, Tyler? TT's here. I think Trout could retire now and be going to the Hall of Fame. Personally, yeah, definitely a good one. But yeah, I mean, Stephen A. Smith has some ridiculous takes on like stuff, but look, this guy's not a baseball player, so I don't like people who run their mouth who don't have any experience with the sport. So at a high level, I don't personally find people like that crowd. He makes some ridiculous basketball takes. He makes some just ridiculous this takes. Like on occasion, he makes some solid takes, but he makes some ridiculous takes very often as well. That's one reason why he's so popular because he's so polarizing, right? Go get it done, Brian. I'm gonna wrap this up in a second too. But let's go Yankees, man. Always I appreciate you, Brian, man. I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna keep this going, baby. We're gonna keep it going, Brian. Go handle the duty. Yeah. I wouldn't say he's bad at building an offense, Tyler. There's this assumption that the Yankees offense needs to be scoring 10 runs a game. If they're winning, whether it's 2-1, whether they're winning 8-1, doesn't matter if they're winning. So timely hitting is just as important, and in some cases more important than substantial offense. So, I don't buy the baloney. They only scored 6 runs in a couple games against the Orioles. They're not championship caliber. That is such a weak take with 130 games left in the season. Especially when we have like a bunch of reinforcements coming back and blah blah blah. We can't even call the Orioles a championship caliber team right now because they have people coming back, and we don't know. They could lose guys with 130 games left in the season too. It's way too early to be having those types of proclamations or things like that. I don't see the point in it. But I get what you're saying, Talbot. Yeah, Arias traded to the Padres. Yeah, that dude. That's how we conduct ourselves, man. Right? It's important. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Try to conduct ourselves like adults, like grown-ups, man. Doesn't mean we can't disagree. We'll always disagree. That's fine. Totally fine. But we don't need to trash people. We don't need to do that. Yeah, definitely clickbait, Buckeye. Analyst, yeah, Stephen A. Smith's an analyst. Yep, pretty much. So he's a polarizing one because he elicits a lot of emotion, elicits a lot of opinion. I get it. I get it. One, yeah, exactly. No team. This is the point of the day here. No team as of right now is a championship caliber team. Can't say the same, but I can't say the Dodgers are. Can't say the Braves are. Can't say anybody. There's 130 games left in the season. It's way too much time. So yeah, James. Yeah, he's still with the farm. Jeter Downs. He came back in the system after he was DFA'd. He's back in. I think he's playing in AAA. Yeah. Well, yeah. What's more? This is a more applicable. Yeah, a talking head, not an analyst. A talking head, not an analyst. He follows the sports. I get it, but to what degree, I don't know. You know, I rather listen to Charles Barkley and Shaq. Like listen to basketball like some of these other folks talk about basketball. I'd rather listen to Susan Wallman and Michael Kay talk about baseball. So you know, good man. Yeah, Papelbon's always been kind of an opinionated, like sometimes not controversial, but if he calls out, Stephen Smith on Mike Trout, good for him, good for him. He does have a big time glove, James. Yes, he does, man. I'm Stephen B. That's what we try to do here, man. We appreciate the kind words always. Yeah, I mean, with Dominguez, Cole, with some of our other relievers, with some of the other folks as well. Like, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not as scared about the Orioles series because aside from the last game, each game was decided between 2 runs. So, you know, like trash talking is okay, Jerry, but trashing people is another thing. I think that's a weak take. People pose as manly, like tough guys, and they trash people on here. And get out of here. Get out of here. Don't be sorry, NFA. I mean, he did Bryce Harper dirty. He talks, you know, about people a lot. And like, well, exactly. He's paid to have an opinion. Just pop up on Stephen A. Smith, exactly. And you know, he he elicits a lot of views on his opinion, a lot of other opinions on his opinion. So, but contrary, yeah, I mean, John Rocker was like a blatant racist too. Like, yeah, I'm not surprised he was universally hated by much of baseball. So, but I wouldn't say Papelbon's to the same level of that, but he can be controversial, no doubt. Watered down version. I mean, that's a good observation. Watered down version of Skip Bayless. That's a good take. And Rocker's definitely a dirtbag. Yeah, yeah. Well, exactly. Exactly, man. Exactly, man. To the mats, baby. Taking the mats. RNC, baby. Rear naked choke. That's right. We do have a tough matchup tomorrow. Yeah. Tarek Skubal, 4-0 with a sub 2 ERA versus Nestor Cortez. It's going to be a tough matchup for the Yankees, but hopefully they'll come out on top. Even if it's a low scoring game, I could care less. Tarek Skubal is a guy we've been talking about for years, a potential, you know, interest and trade piece for potentially for the Yankees if he became available. And he's young, you know. It looks like he's finally putting it together. Sometimes it takes a while, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Skip Bayless, brother. Good cook. All right, I like that. I like that. Exactly. I mean, Mark, exactly. He yeah, scored enough runs early in the game without having to sweat. Yeah, exactly, Mark. That's a great point. What happened to Sweater? You got a game. Yeah, and they came back, and even though the Tigers scored a couple runs, their bullpen held them at bay. Schmidt held them at bay. Weaver and Holmes, they held them at bay. You know? Yeah, certain things. I know. Yeah, I know. I love when people just trash New York City and they talk all kinds of tough and come into the toughest neighborhoods and back that shit up in the tough neighborhoods. They will laugh you out of town. People have no idea. But that's what people do. But yeah, our bats definitely need to show up against Scooble. Scooble is a lefty, Jack. He's a pretty crafty, nasty looking lefty. So he's good. So, but on that note, I will let you all go. I want you all to have a great weekend, okay? And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. And thanks so much for your insight, your feedback, your takes, and everything, your perspectives. We all appreciate you all. And hit the like button on the way out if you haven't done that. Hit the sub on the way out if you haven't done that too. It's greatly appreciated. But peace and love to all of yous. Okay, my family, you are the best family out here. Appreciate all yous. See you all tomorrow.